let's start with the fact that we are, how many weeks after now? 3 weeks.
Yeah, coming up to 4.
Coming up to 4 weeks since we were at Disney. So, bit of a disclaimer that if you're travelling to Disney now, in the next week or so, things will have changed already.
Yeah, although I do know what those changes are. So.
Yeah, you do. We can let them know, but they might not be in this video.
Yeah.
They might be in later videos. So things might have changed because they're doing a lot of work at Disneyland Paris, but throughout the next 6 videos-ish.
Yeah, I've got a little series.
We've got a little few videos and then we're going to go. So things will have changed when you get there. So, but this is just our experience. February 2024. 2025. Wowzers. Wow, time flies. Okay. So this video is going to be all about travel and hotel.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess the whole package that we booked and how we went through that. Now, the way I see this working is I'm essentially going to ask questions because you booked it all.
Yeah, that's
fine. And I just drove in France.
Yeah, that was your job.
So I drove in France and you booked the rest. So that's how it's going to work. So let's start with our booking.
Okay.
Okay. So have you got, do you know the booking off by heart?
Yeah.
Okay. Great stuff. Right. Let's start with the booking then.
Okay. So I have spoken to many people over the years about Disney, and I've always said you can make it as cheap or as expensive as you want to make it. So for us, a non-negotiable is that we always stay on Disney property. Obviously you can go to Disney and not do that, but for us it's a non-negotiable, isn't it?
Definitely.
And having young children and having a child with food allergies, which we're going to do in a separate video, but having the flexibility of driving is a big plus for us. So when you book with the Walt Disney Travel Company through the Disneyland Paris website, you have got a few options. You can book just your tickets, you can book your hotel, or you can book a package with transport, which is what we did. So we booked for 3 nights, and that included a hotel stay for 3 nights, our tickets for 4 days, and then the transport to and from France.
Which was for us the Channel Tunnel.
Yeah, so we used the shuttle. Le Shuttle. And again, we did this when we travelled in 2023, and it was brilliant, but we used the ferry that time.
And this one was so much easier.
It was brilliant. Disney like to do offers throughout the year, so a little disclaimer, we booked it, and then a few weeks after we booked it, they advertised their free transport offer.
I definitely wouldn't want to.
I was going to say it was a good couple £100. So I just contacted Disney, and
then it's just massive,
they
and then you just drive all the way down it.
So I also got a blue light discount, so anybody who's entitled to blue light, I think the percentage is now changed to 3%. It was 5% at the time, but we paid for 3 nights in a hotel, 4-day park tickets, including obviously a Disney hotel, a top of the range hotel. We paid for the shuttle, well, part of the package, and we also paid for the photo pass.
Yeah.
So with everything in that we purchased, we paid £1,200.
Yeah, which is for Disney an absolute bargain.
Yeah, it works out at £100 per person per night,
which is ridiculous. And we did February before, and we got extremely lucky doing February before because the weather was amazing.
Yeah.
And this one was exactly the same.
Yeah.
So we were very lucky again. I mean, we could book to go to February again, and the next time we go, it could be ridiculously cold, it could be pouring with rain, and we'd really struggle.
Yeah.
But actually, we've been very lucky both times we've gone in Feb, and that's when it seems to be the cheapest. So the quick itinerary was, we drove down to Ashford the night before we crossed over to Disney. So on the Monday, we drove down south. We went for some dinner down south.
Yeah.
And then I mean, Finn went to nursery on that Monday morning. We drove down south, and then we stayed at a hotel right by, 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away from...
Yeah, so we stayed in Folkestone. We stopped off at Ashford just because it's 20 minutes further north. There's a few shops. The boys could have a... Walk round. We know where we can eat. But yeah, we broke the journey up on the way there just so that we could get an early crossing in the morning and make the most of that first day in Disney, really.
Yeah, so we crossed, so that was that, stayed overnight, absolute dream in the hotel, boys were amazing, best night they've ever had in a hotel. We were actually a little bit, oh my God, what have we done? Like, have we set ourselves up too good on the first night compared to the rest of the holiday? But we'll get to the next bits. But yeah, stayed overnight, and then we got up nice and early. Yeah. Very early for a McDonald's breakfast. Yeah. And got on the tunnel. It was that easy, and we literally drove up. I pressed a few buttons, a card popped out, you hang it on your windscreen, and away you go. Yeah,
you drive through. If there's availability, there was for us, there was an earlier crossing.
Call you earlier.
So we got over into France even earlier, which is brilliant.
And then that's where I take over the driving, and we jump on and drive all the way straight down to we stayed at Newport Bay. Yeah. So Newport Bay Hotel, the driving in France is a doddle.
It's seamless, isn't it? From, obviously you've already done all of your customs and your passport checks and everything, so as soon as that tunneler's arrived in France, they open the door, you drive off and you just go. And the roads there are so well, their road system is just brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's you driving at 75-80 mile an hour, which is the speed limit for a very long time. Like you take, it's probably 3 roads realistically to get to Disneyland Paris from Calais.
It took us 2 hours 45 minutes.
So, and it was a doddle. It was a toll. How much was the toll?
£20 each way for the toll,
which was easy. So boys were great. We did a couple of stops, a couple of toilet breaks, and that was that. Happy days. Got to Newport Bay, exactly as like when we got there last time. You go through your security, they check you. Oh, actually, we didn't do any of that, did we? Well, we did do security, but we didn't check any bags in yet because our room wasn't ready. Yeah. So you went and checked in to get our room key, and we literally just took stuff to go straight to the park.
Yeah, although they have changed things now. So if you are staying on site, a lot of what you can do
online
via the app. So if you're going to go to Disneyland Paris, whether you're staying in the resort or not, you need the app. The app is brilliant. It's got your queue times, it's got your mobile ordering for your food, it's got locations for everything. But yeah, we could have actually not even gone to the hotel, and we could have just walked straight to the park. All we did was the reason we went to check in was to get our photo pass.
Get our photo pass, and they give you your room key even though your room's not ready, and then they text you to say your room is ready. So we actually didn't do anything that night, parade or fireworks wise. We literally did a few rides, grabbed some dinner, went back to the hotel room earlier than like you usually would, and got a good night's sleep, checked all the bags and stuff because everyone was shattered from the travel. So now Newport Bay, I've stayed in 3 different Disney hotels now, and Newport Bay is by far my favourite.
Yeah.
Because for a multitude of reasons. One, it's a really nice hotel. Even though we did say this time parts of it will start to look a little bit dated, but they're doing work on it. Mm-hmm. They were doing work while we were there, which is great. So that's one great looking hotel, really nice hotel. It is huge.
It's massive.
So big.
It's got a conference centre attached to it.
Conference centre attached to the hotel, which is just mind blowing. But because of where you see it positioned on the lake, you can't actually see all the rooms still, because it's that big, but it looks great. Another reason is it has its own security to get into Disney Village, which typically only Newport Bay people use. Yeah. I mean, you could use it for other hotels, but it'd be a longer way to get round. So you can walk out. We can get from our hotel room to the front of a park in 20 minutes.
Yeah, easily.
Easily, 20 minutes, and that's going through a security and walking through Disney Village. So it's so close and so easy. Really nice walk around the lake to get there. The rooms are standard Disney rooms, 2 double beds, nice bathroom, a little bit of an area outside the bathroom. I believe all the rooms in most of the hotels are exactly the same, but it's a nice themed hotel. You know, it's just great, but it's the location that does it for me. It's just really simple. The only thing I would say is if you're using a buggy, it's only got a lift big enough for one. Yeah. To get up and down.
And if you don't want to do the walk, if it's too cold or too wet or you're too tired, you can still use the shuttle service, but we haven't used it whenever we've stayed in that hotel.
I've never used it when I've been to Disneyland Paris.
Simple.
I've just never used, because the walk's fine, like you don't mind the walk. Even when we stayed further out, the walk was 25 minutes, half an hour to get to Disney Village, and it's 5 minutes to Disney Village. So yeah, I've never even seen the shuttles. I don't even know where they drop you off or anything. Like, I've got no clue about them, but the walk is just that nice. So yeah, and that was basically how our holiday booked, wasn't it? And we booked it well over a year ago.
We booked it in the May and we didn't go until the February. So
yeah, we booked it about a year ago now, which was great. And we've already started looking for other Disney trips to go on. So a lot of people have already asked me, going, would you not prefer to go to Florida, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, obviously we would, but Florida's 14 grand. We've just explained this was 1,200.
Yeah.
So you
get your fix.
Yeah, so you get your fix, and so they are doing a lot of work to it. So I think Disneyland Paris in the next couple of years is going to change massively. So yeah, that was basically our travel. You got anything to say on the hotel?
I don't think so. Like I said, you've got different ranges of the hotel. Absolute bucket list would be to stay in the Disneyland hotel.
The new Marvel hotel looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I think there's just a bit of a misconception when people think of going to Disney. They think of that real, in your face, right in the middle of the park kind of hotel, and you are talking about the most luxurious of the lot. You know, there are different themes, there are different levels to suit different budgets, but all of them will comfortably fit a family of 4.
Yeah.
A lot of the rooms have bunk beds, but I know that depending on the age of your children, they sometimes deliberately don't assign you those rooms because of health and safety. And
we got a double bed, 2 double beds, and it was only the last night in the end that both the boys slept in the same bed because Finn was ill for a few nights, bless him. So I slept in the bed with him, but on the last night, it was just so nice to see the boys sharing a bed.
Yeah, they were cuddled up
fast asleep, giggling away to each other before they fell asleep. It was great. So yeah, it's Newport Bay for me is brilliant. Like, you couldn't ask for much more from a hotel.
No, it's a beautiful, beautiful hotel, and you've got to remember you're there literally just to rest your head. So you don't need all of the lavish facilities. Like, they've got an absolutely amazing pool area. I haven't got time at Disney to be going to the pool, but if you're there for slightly longer, or
if your kids they love swimming that much, and you do want a break from the walking. Why not?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our holiday, and that's the end of part 1. Nice and quick. That's the whole point of these videos. They are going to be nice and quick, easy ones to digest for you guys, but also for us to film. So we're going on to part 2. So check it out. Part 2 is going to be. I've got down here rides, but I don't think it should be rides. I think we should go with more logistical stuff, which is why I'm thinking. Part 2 is going to be Disney Village and food, because we're working from the hotel in.
That's fine by me.
So, yeah, we'll see you part 2 to learn about what we did for food and Disney Village.